Hi everybody, today PhoneArena is presenting you the Samsung I5510. It's the first phone we're receiving from Samsung with Android 2.2 Froyo right out of the box. And as another differentiating feature, it has a slide-out QWERTY keyboard, physical QWERTY. The screen is 3.2-inch capacitive touchscreen, and the resolution is 240 by 400 pixels, wide QVGA resolution. Underneath the screen are the three physical buttons for Android navigation: the home button, the back button, and the menu key. The phone has a 3-megapixel camera on the back. There's autofocus but no flash, as well as the speaker grill is on the back. The left-hand side hosts the volume rocker. On the right, there's only the lock and lock power key, as there is no physical shutter key for the camera. It's all touch-based. On the top, we have the standard audio jack and the micro USB port. The Samsung I5510 has the same chipset that's found in the Samsung Galaxy 3. It also resembles the Galaxy 3 in frontal design, for example. It has the same speaker grill, nearly the same, playing with physical buttons on it, and uses this glossy black plastic that Samsung is using in a lot of its handsets lately. But what's different about it, of course, is that it has Froyo on board and a physical slide-out QWERTY keyboard, which we're about to examine right now. The physical QWERTY keyboard of the Samsung i5510 slides up easily, but the spring-loading mechanism is tight enough. It feels solid when you slide it back and forth. The keyboard is in 4 rows. There's a dedicated number row. The numbers are colored in red, as well as the mode switch key, which is colored in red here in the lower left corner. What's good about the keyboard is that it has these arrow keys here, which is one of the biggest advantage over regular virtual keyboards. Let's test the travel of the keys. It's a bit shallow. We could do with a better, deeper travel of the keys, but once you get used to it, nevertheless, you're starting to type fairly quickly with the physical keyboard. And on top of that, it's not adding much to the heft of the device. It's just slightly heavier than the Samsung Galaxy 3, for example. So all in all, we are very satisfied with the keyboard. The physical QWERTY, it's a nice addition, and it differentiates the phone from the rest of the Froyo pack. Speaking of Froyo, it's very interesting how it's going to behave on this fairly slow processor for today's standards. So let's have a look at the interface of the Samsung i5510. We won't be spending much time reviewing the interface. We've done this in our reviews of the Samsung Galaxy S and Galaxy 3 extensively. It's the same TouchWiz 3.0, but underneath it, it's powered by Android 2.2 Froyo, which speeds up things quite a bit. As you can see, everything is snappy, smooth, although the Samsung i5510 doesn't have the Hummingbird chipset. So we're just gonna go around the interface and show you the speed. Scrolling is quick and smooth, no lags or hiccups. Messaging appears in threaded view, and you can search the text of your messages. Free page menu. The same applications as in the other TouchWiz 3.0 handsets of Samsung. The only difference we noticed is in the music player. Now it aggregates the songs by artist, but it shrinks everything under one name. and you have to press on the artist, and all of its albums with album covers appear. The 5.1 channel surround sound in headset mode is present here as well. The icons in the music player are a little bit different than in the previous versions of the TouchWiz 3.0. You see the active song is marked here in green arrow. It shows the song is playing in the background. We'll pause it. Let's have a look at the browser. Now, Android 2.2 Froyo is supposed to support Flash right out of the box, but not every handset supports it properly. Here we have very basic support. Our homepage loads fairly quickly because it's cached in the memory, but otherwise it's pretty heavy, a lot of pictures. Flash ads we can see, but when we go to Flash videos, things are beginning to get sour. Scrolling is pretty smooth, even on heavy pages. Double tap to zoom works only when the page has loaded completely. Of course, this resolution is not very comfortable for reading, but it does the job. And the capacitive touchscreen is very responsive. Multi-touch works easily. But let's try and go to YouTube, for example. Here's the portrait keyboard. It recognizes the mobile site. The videos are listed. You can see, but that's what it's giving in the end. If you want to play YouTube videos, you have to get out of the browser and start the dedicated YouTube client. And this is the biggest gripe we have about the Samsung I5510, the improper support, very basic support of Adobe Flash. The gallery is the same with 3D effects as on the other handsets with TouchWiz 3.0. Scrolling is smooth. It plays videos up to the phone's QVGA resolution, and it shoots videos at 30 frames per second. The pictures that the phone takes are a bit oversaturated from what we saw in our samples, but nevertheless in terms of detail they're pretty decent for a 3 megapixel shooter, and they could do with a little bit more focus, but overall for this resolution the pictures come out decent. The only downside is that it doesn't have a flash, so indoor photos when low light turn out pretty grainy. In conclusion, we have to say that we like the Samsung I5510. It has Froyo right out of the box, which speeds up things in the interface. It has a differentiating feature such as a physical slide-out QWERTY keyboard, which is comfortable to type on and still manages to keep a fairly compact size and heft. The only gripe we had with it is it doesn't support Adobe Flash properly, only basic support of Flash, although Froyo should support it. It depends on the hardware and software. We don't know if Samsung will work more on this handset in that regard or not. But considering the very low price we're hearing about the Samsung I5510, we can definitely recommend it. This was a video review of the Samsung I5510 from PhoneArena. For more detailed review of this handset, you can visit us at PhoneArena.com.